Welcome back to HPL. We just saw Neiera even up this match of purple at 1-1. And the next game's going to be quite important. Whoever gets the win is on match point.
Yeah, I mean, purple queuing up Murlocs in that game of all things. That is one of the last things I would have expected. But sort of the same thing from Neiera. You know, we haven't seen him play recklessly aggressive strategies in the past. Queued up Face Hunter in that last game, able to pick up a win here, really against the grain of his normal control strategy, where he wants to kill basically every single minion that's played and then scale into his late game threats afterwards.
Yeah, what we talked about coming into the match is that he has like one of the highest minion. He has the highest minion kill score in all of HPL, and then you see him queue up a Face Hunter deck. What a great curveball from Neiera there. Purple could not have been expecting that.
Yeah, and we're going to see what he expects here in Game 3, because, guys, it's getting underway right now. Neiera versus Purple.
Yeah, again, I'm just super excited to see what these guys are playing in this game.
Yeah, love the fact that they've been mixing it up. Neiera going to go with Freeze Mage here, and Purple queuing up a Paladin strategy. Not the greatest matchup versus Freeze Mage, but it does have some potential to really get the job done. You know, it really depends on how Neirea's end game damage is built in this matchup. That's really going to kind of settle the way this pace of the game has been going, because Purple, you know, something that Paladin can do is once an Alexstrasza is hit, is it can heal its life total back up and try to stay out of range of burst spells. But something like Archmage Antonidas really puts a lot of pressure on Purple in terms of his healing, so it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how Neirea's draw pans out and how much he can execute that endgame plan.
Oh yeah, this matchup is a very interesting one back and forth. It's all about how many extra cards Neirea can draw early in the game and how much pressure Purple can put on him. Now, Purple has a pretty good draw for this game so far because he's got a lot of minions in his opening hand. You don't want your removal spells early in this matchup. What you want is you want to be able to keep your consecrations and your equalities to take care of Doomsayers later in the game.
Yeah, Purple even choosing to just go Acolyte of Pain here. Wants to go toe-to-toe with Neirea in terms of the card advantage battle. You know, in his mind, I'm guessing that he thinks this Ironbeak Owl is going to be much more suited for something like a Doomsayer later in the game, so I expect him to not fill up his board to 7 minions so he can have access to that. But at the same time, one of the scariest things you can do is to give a mage all of the draw potential that they want with something like Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah, you usually want to try to deny them as many draws extra in the game as they can. If you give Freeze Mage a ton of time to set up, it is not really beatable late in the game, and he already has one of the most important cards in the matchup in Emperor Thaurissan.
Yeah, so Neirea actually just going to run a Doomsayer out here. And this is really, really curious. You know, I would suspect that Purple is going to, you know, try to attack this board position, get some extra developments. Exactly what he's going to do. Acolyte of Pain, something that he very much wants to stick around as well. You know, he's going to need those extra cards. Picks up Lay on Hands as well. I mean, this is looking not the worst for Purple, but he doesn't have a ton of pressure going forward, and that's one of the biggest keys you need against this deck, is to be able to couple pressure with that endgame disruption. Something like Loatheb really comes to mind.
Yeah, Loatheb is one of the most powerful cards in this matchup, but it's also one of the most matchup knowledge dependent cards. You have to know the exact right time to play it. It's very important to play it like right after you pop one of their secrets and just, you know, strand them there as like that's their only turn. It's very important that Purple understands all that, and I'm sure that he does. He probably knows this matchup very well, but Neirea is a great player here too, so you gotta expect this one's gonna go long and be very grindy.
Yeah, Purple just focusing on getting extra cards as well. The Aldor Peacekeeper on the Mad Scientist here, super key. Not only is this going to give Neirea an extra chance to maybe draw that secret that would have been thinned out. Look, he draws an Ice Barrier right here. You know, you don't always see this actually matter, but in this spot it matters, you know, quite a bit. And at the same time, gets 3 draws out of his Acolyte of Pain, so great stuff from Purple. But Neirea, man, is this hand looking good. He is at 29. He's got a ton of health sitting behind it. I mean, how exactly does Purple win from this position? I mean, it's not going to, right now, it's not going to be aggressive damage.
It's not going to be aggressive damage, and it's going to be very difficult since Neirea already has Emperor Thaurissan and he's going to be able to play it next turn. That is one of the most, if not the most important cards in this deck, and it's very, very good in this match. If he gets multiple effects off of the Emperor Thaurissan, multiple triggers off of it, this game is all but over.
Yeah, so Purple going to have to work to deny that. So far, nothing. Moving forward to be able to keep it in check. Sunwalker will put a little bit of pressure out here. I mean, the minions he has will take out Emperor Thaurissan, but that's not necessarily a negative thing for Neirea. It's pulling damage away from his face. Still gets the most important effect of it, which is the mana reduction on it. This is looking fantastic here for Neirea.
Yeah, Neirea's actually not going to play the Emperor here this turn, or at least he looks like he might not. I have to assume that he's going to. He's going to at least take his time and think about it, because Emperor Thaurissan here gains you 7 life and adds something like 7 or 8 mana to your hand as well. It's just such a great play here.
Very difficult to not play it. I mean, he already has a Frostbolt, an Ice Lance, and an Alexstrasza in his hand, so this is about the best value he's going to get from it. If he had something like Archmage in his hand, obviously that would be beneficial as well, but sometimes you have to take what you can get.
Yeah, you're going to see Purple load up the board here with a lot of resilient threats. This is what you want against the Freeze Mage deck. A lot of times they have a lot of sweepers with Doomsayers and flame strikes and stuff like that, but a lot of his minions either survive it or leave behind something afterwards.
Yeah, Archmage and Pyroblast added to hand. He's going to have a lot of damage as it rolls into this endgame. It's going to be a matter of whether or not Purple can keep himself protected and then heal his life total enough afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, Purple, you've got to feel, is a little behind here. Neirea is starting to stockpile all the resources that he needs here in this match. Purple is just going to keep advancing his board with resilient minions and hope to God he can push through it sometime. You got to wonder if he has a card like Lotheb in his deck since he has Harrison Jones.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if it is in here. You know, I don't expect this is the matchup he was wanting to face against Neirea, with the Alexstrasza right here really putting a ton of pressure on Purple.
Yeah, Purple, you have to heal here now because you have to believe that Neirea has a way to kill you over the next 2 turns. He's already had an Ember Thorson trigger, and he has a ton of cards in his hand. You have to believe that he already has 15 damage in his hand.
Really smart here from Purple to sacrifice that 1/1 as well, running it into the Alexstrasza. That just puts the way for now. We talked about him not filling up his entire board when he has Iron Begal. He has an Iron Begal in hand now, so he can check something like Frost Nova Doomsayer. Super important for him to do that.
Very small play, but very, very tight from Purple, showing matchup knowledge and just board knowledge as well. Very, very important in this game. Now you're going to see Neirea. I'm interested to see if he's going to try to push this turn or if he's going to be defensive again.
Yeah, I mean, something like Archmage and Frost Nova looks like a great turn, but he has to be a little bit in fear of something like Equality or maybe you know, just another Iron Begal to shut off the effect. You know, this might be a spot where he can easily wait 1 more turn to get things done. You know, this is a lot of damage coming from Purple, but he has, I think, the time to maybe wait this long. He's going to go for the Archmage and the Frost Nova here, so Purple pretty much forced to use Iron Begal in this spot.
Yeah, Neirea was doing a little bit of math that turn in compilation with Blood Mage Sauce. He's trying to see if he had 13 damage, could get Purple to 10 and maybe finish him off with Pyroblast next turn. That is a way that he can win this game, since he already has a couple of his secrets set up and he has another one in his hand. He's already set up for the end game. He just has to figure out how to do it from here.
Yeah, so I mean, Neirea, this is a ton of damage in his hand right now. 3 Fireballs plus False Bolt and Ice Lance. It's 18, 21, 25 damage. That's not counting anything from the Blood Mage.
Yes, nothing from the Blood Mage. He still would have the Pyroblast afterwards as well.
Yeah, still I wasn't even counting the Pyroblast, by the way. I was just counting the damage that he can actually, you know, reasonably spend his mana on. But in this spot, man, this is
he could do all of what you said for only 8 mana as well. Yeah, so I mean, this is a brutal spot for Purple, but he has a lot of heal in his deck. He's already back up to 30, and you see him with the True Silver Champion in his hand. That's going to get him another 2 life. Every life point is super important from here. He's already weathered the storm of Alexstrasza, so it's going to be interesting to see if Neirea can couple together enough damage to kill Purple from here and manage to stay in this game, because Purple has a gigantic board state.
Yeah, just going to lead with Pyroblast here. And this puts a lot of pressure on Purple now. He desperately needs another heal effect. I suspect this Archmage might be falling, but we need to count his damage here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So he can't pop the Ice Block this turn. This is a very, very crucial turn here for Purple, because he does put a lot of pressure now on Neirea to have a way to, you know, keep himself alive in this board position. He doesn't have Blizzard, doesn't have a Frost Nova. He's got an Ice Barrier, doesn't have another Ice Block, though. I mean, this could be a spot where it's really Purple's opportunity. If he stays alive this turn, things are looking great for him.
Yeah, as you said, he doesn't have another Ice Block here, and Purple will have to probably attack him next turn, so he'll be able to gain 8 life if he can control the board and off of that, off the Ice Barrier, because Paladin doesn't have exactly a lot of reach. They don't have a lot of ways to deal you damage without attacking you. So that's an interesting point going into the next turn.
Yeah, really considering using Alor Peacekeeper here as well, I would assume, but just going to figure out which one of these threats is going to work out best. He actually says no threat is going to work out best, and I think that may be a nod to perhaps drawing something like a second anti-heal bot.
Yeah, and drawing this Frost Nova was not bad here as well, but doesn't Neirea, he doesn't have 22 here, does he?
It does not look like 22 to me. Oh, that actually is 22. My mistake.
With the Blood Mage, right?
Yeah, because of that Blood Mage, extra 4 damage that Blood Mage picked up. So Neirea going to shoot out here now to a 2-1 lead over Purple. I think Purple feels a little bit bad about the fact that, you know, this Paladin deck at this point, now he's the one who got targeted in this matchup. The fact that he's been trying to target trying to target Neirea back and forth. Neirea is really swapping it up. Something else I would love to see from him as well. When he's going to play these control decks, play something with a lot of burst in the end game to try to catch your opponent off guard. Purple has clearly been trying to go toe-to-toe with you as far as these threats are concerned, and the fact that he's swapped it up and playing a strategy that's going to largely ignore those elements, that was great from him. I love that he's been playing these strategies that are very polarized in his matches so far.
Yeah, and Purple definitely has been caught off guard this match. You can definitely see it in his last game. He had a lot of cards that were not very good in that matchup. That Harrison Jones had to feel terrible when he drew it in that game. It's going to be nothing but a 5-4 body and not getting a lot of value out of it. You've seen Neirea really get the better of queuing up here in this match.
Yeah, and certainly did. Freeze Mage, a very strong strategy, and it's something that's right up his alley too. The long game, try to control the board and then get from there. So if you guys want to see the recap from this game, you can head over to pvplive.net and do so, as well as their full competitive histories, breakdowns, and stats from those games. You can check out everything you need to know about their strategies and, more importantly, how they play them. When we come back, Purple needs 2 straight, and Neiera is on match point. Don't go anywhere, guys. One of them is going to a 3-0 record to join Dog. Other one's going to be dropping down to 2-1. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.